There's lots of anti-wealth programming in your media, and it's there on purpose. It's not an accident. So let's take something like The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. Now, in that movie, of course, the hero, Denzel, he works at Home Hardware. And he doesn't even have a car. He literally walks to work. He walks everywhere because the sort of person or the problem to start, of course, is a Russian. And of course, there's no chance happenings that it's a Russian mob boss. And of course, his name is Slavy, slave. That is the name of the Russian mob boss, and the Russian mob boss, who is literally beating up people that Denzel Washington knows, some prostitutes that he talks to at night when he's studying and he can't sleep. This man called Slavy has many cars. He has a large Mercedes, and Denzel Washington, of course, lives in again, doesn't have a car. He walks everywhere. He works at Home Hardware. And Denzel Washington only has one pair of shoes that he cleans with a toothbrush every night or every morning when he gets up, or every night. I can't really remember. And Denzel as well can take care of these people, these hoods, these gang members that are causing trouble for people that Denzel knows. They all have guns. They all have large guns. They have knives. They have weapons. And Denzel can't even afford a weapon. He kills people with his bare hands. He doesn't need a gun, let alone can he afford a gun. And these sort of impacts on the psyche over and over and over again regarding wealth, that wealth is bad. If you're going to have wealth, you're going to be like Slavy in The Equalizer. You're going to be a bad person. You're going to be an evil person. You're going to be an abuser of women. So that they really build that up on the one column. And then on the other side, the hero works a humdrum job. He also can't even afford weapons. He doesn't have a Mercedes with gull-wing doors like Slavy, the Russian mob boss. He has to walk to work, or he has to take the bus. He only has one pair of shoes. And I believe there's a shot of even Slavy has a pair of very expensive cowboy boots. And these are all shown on purpose. It's like wealth is bad, wealth is evil, money's the root of all evil. And then you have, the hero walks the noble path. Poverty makes things more altruistic in your life. It's the high moral ground. And these things have a huge impact on you over the years, because there is a part of your brain that these particular movies and directions from the director and the producers, they are accessing a part of the mind that actually counts repetition in a way that this repetition, that this part of the mind counts and documents and tabulates, it does so because it wants to really feel what the most repetitive content is in the environment, because it's looking for sort of instruction or mentorship or tutelage about where do I live? What's the most repetitive content in my environment? I'm really interested in fitting in here, in blending in. I want to go along to get along. And so this is a defensive measurement, a defensive process. This counting of repetitive content is automatic. It's automatic, like your heart rate, where you don't control your heart rate. You also don't control this defensive posturing by your body to say, where am I now? Where am I living now? What's the most repetitive content in the environment in which I live? I'd like to know, because I want to get along with people here, because getting along with people is about mimicking what they believe, their ideas and their behaviors. And if I mimic the majority, which would be represented by the most repetitive content, if I mimic the majority, then I'm safer. So this is a very primal and primitive defense system about counting repetitive content. Now, the people who rule you know this, and they make sure to also put in these themes in all the movies. They don't care if you see Denzel Washington or Brad Pitt or Morgan Freeman or George Clooney. They'll infuse all the same, like, so they give you the fake choice at the cinema where you're pretending you're in full control, but they riddle the same patterns and images and repetitive content through all the film, so that you believe you have freedom, but as you go in, this invisible part of the mind will sit down and start counting the repetition, and this part of the mind doesn't know the difference between imagined thought and what goes in real life and actually what's on the screen. The things, whatever it's seeing in your eyes, whether you're watching a screen or watching your real life or even imagining it in your mind's eye, that's why it's called the mind's eye. Whatever is going in through the eye, basically this repetitive downloading tabulation system is getting a hold of it, seeing what's the most repetitive, and then forcing you to act it out. And again, the people who know you really don't want competition in their businesses. It's hard to govern and control financially abundant people. It's hard to govern and control healthy people. It's hard to control and govern independent people. So they have all these themes. They might have 30 or 40 major themes that they put through all the cinema and all the print media, the billboards and the radio. And one of them is, money is bad. The capitalism is not good. It's destroying the world. And, if you're poor and shoveling shit down at ABC Dirt Factory, you're the higher moral being on the planet. And they do that on purpose because they know that's just easier to rule people that don't want to get ahead, because they have the programming that forces them not to get ahead. Not that anybody's born like this. The repetitive content can override your genetic desire to become more and more and better each and every day. So there's a new program I have coming out which will explain all this, help you overcome all your self-sabotage, and help you develop some inner strength and really go into inner strength on this new program. It's good for you to find out about it. If not, there's some videos in the description that'll help you understand why you self-sabotage. So if you're looking for more information on that, email support@freedomfromselfsabotage.com. This is Jason Christoff signing off. Thank you for listening.